everybody. My name is Leisha Kabak, and I'm co-founder of VIP Ignite. And today on our VIP Ignite podcast, I have the amazing Carlette. Hi.
Hey, how's it going, Alicia? How you doing today?
Hey. So, I want to say something. Now, you've been on a lot of our calls before you decided to finally pull the trigger, right?
Yes.
Is that kind of like the scenario? Because I remember seeing your name a lot, like on the registrant list. I'm like, when is he actually going to join the company? So take me on a little journey about who you are and what you've done. And then you came on the calls quite a bit. Why did you finally just say, you know what? I'm going to grow a pair. I'm really going to do this.
Well, okay.
Walk
So
me through the steps.
for me, I got into acting about 5 years ago. I was, doing one of those reflection on life thing, and I've always wanted to do it. And I just, my parents of the generation, it was like, oh, you're never going to make money doing that. Go to college, get a degree, or get a real job and do that for fun. And I finally said, I've always wanted to. Let's find out if I didn't know if I liked it. So I got, some bit stuff, background work and some feature stuff and the bug was already there. It didn't bite me. I just let it out of its cage. And so I was so excited. So just short of the long, I got scammed twice early on. One of those, I lost some money. Another one, I got connected with somebody whose name, and I won't say names, but whose name behind the scenes in the industry is very bad. And so when people saw that I was associated with this person, they're like, "Oh no, we're not going to work with you. We don't know you, but you are associated with them."
So you were burned twice.
I was burned twice, and so, and then when I saw, the ads, for VIP Ignite, I was interested, but I'm going in. I've been burned twice, and so I vetted. I went to a lot of the sessions, to the weekend boot camps. Was on some of the other like evening calls that you had, and I did some research on you guys. I'll be honest. I looked you up on, like LinkedIn, or I did some, some internet Google searching and stuff. And
you did your work.
I did my work.
You weren't going to get hurt again. I get it.
And because there are legit companies out there, or legit people that are trying to help other actors. Granted, yes, you're going to make money because it's a business. If you're running a business, you got to make money. But it's not, it was legit. And so I felt, and I looked into two other groups, and I just felt more, I don't want to say connected with VIP Ignite. It just, you were the one thing that really sold me was you, because no, it's all right. I'm from New England. I was born and raised in New Hampshire, about 40 minutes out of Boston. And I know that thing. And I went to high school in upstate New York. And you're from New York. Well, I don't know, but you're well,
I'm from Florida. And when I first moved to New York, I was scared to death like a deer in headlights. But New York hardens me, and now I'm back in Florida. I'm like, guys, everything's taking so long. Let's go. I'm a New Yorker.
But you took to New York, and New York took to you. Yeah. So you're blunt, but you're honest. It's not, I'm not going to beat around the bush because I don't have time to beat around the bush. This, that, yes or no, and some people might be like, oh my God, she's there. No, it's like,
you're so mean. But I want success. Okay. Go to those other companies that scam you, rainbows, unicorns, and gumdrops. You're going to pay them. They're going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to give you the results that you need to have, but you're going to have to work with me here. Right. So I think people fear me, but they love me at the same time.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Fear you in the beginning. Yes. Once they get to know you, yes, fear you, love you, but it's more that fear turns into true respect, at least for me. Yeah. Because you're not BSing. Okay. You do you bust your behind and like we said at the last, when we were in California, you do everything you can to get those doors unlocked and opened, or the windows cracked. So us as talent, and that's, musicians, actors, models, sorry. We have that opportunity to go through those doors that would have normally not been opened for us. Right. It's not like you're saying, oh, I found this agency, they're going to make you a star. No, you're honest about that too. It's a certain percentage, you have to talent in the right place, right time kind of thing. And you're helping us with the right time and place to get in to meet these people. And it's amazing. It's awesome. And, yeah, that is why I pulled the trigger and actually, joined, and then, went to the LA seminar that you had just recently, been going, the first time you were back in LA for a while. So
I know. COVID, man,
yeah,
really put a ringer in live events. But so you decided to pull the trigger. Were you nervous about going to LA? Had you ever been to LA before?
I've been, I flew in, I worked for a company where I would fly around the country and work on hospital computer systems. And so I've been to Oakland and I've been to San Francisco. And so I flew into LA, but never actually been to LA. Was I nervous about going to LA Hollywood? No. Was I, what, I'll be honest, the nerves for me, um, was I good enough? It's like, because you had
It's
like,
easier to place the blame on me, but the question is, are you good enough?
right. Yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because like you had these people, you had two cast, or I mean, two agency owners there that I really wanted to meet, but you had more than the two. You had to think three or four. Then you had some music producers who I talked to a couple of them, and it was amazing. You had Ryan and the modeling stuff. And let me just say in the modeling, the other thing that with you, which also made me pull the trigger with VIP Ignite and Truth Management, was people, when they think of models, they think runway models or the cover of a fashion magazine, and that's like 1% of the 1% of the models kind of thing, right? And it's like, unless you fit a exact mold for that, you're not going to do that. But when you're flipping through a magazine and you see like an advert for a product, and you got 18 people in this ad, one person might be a star, but those other 17 people who,
Like an AT&T ad. Yeah.
yeah,
Somebody's got to do it. Why
they're
not you?
models. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
models. They're getting
Yeah.
paid. Now they may not be getting paid as the big, but you're still getting paid to be a model
No
on a
booking
print
work.
ad.
And yeah.
And then, I never considered that. I never thought that way. I usually am a pretty good out of the box thinker, but I didn't think out of the box in that one. I was like, oh, I'm not
Get off the
model
blinders,
material.
girl. Yeah.
Yep. And so, and when that right there, like, is like, because I wanted to be an actor. I am an actor, but I wanted to be successful,
Yeah.
what I consider successful. But then it was like, oh, I guess I could be a model too, because I can do print ads or be, background in an ad in a TV commercial or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, that, a lot of those, and that, finding out that you guys are absolutely legitimate is why I pulled the trigger. And I'm so
Well,
happy I did.
and it was funny because when I finally met you live, I'm like, with the arms out, I'm
Yeah,
like, let's
yeah.
hug.
It's
And
like,
because like it hurts me when people get taken advantage of, and it's kind of like a bad relationship. I could tell you I'm not going to do it, but at the same time, people spend money, and they think, well, I got taken advantage of. Well, no, you paid for photos. What did you do with them? And that's usually oh, well, duh. So a lot of times, oh, I paid for a website. Well, you do understand, like, real people in this industry don't go to websites to hire. You actually need like everybody that you met, they don't do open calls. It's all by referral only. You would never be able to sit down with your current agent who manages some of the biggest names in show business and has actors on hit TV shows and movies. She even manages, like, a huge recording star. So like when you're trying to get into show business, the harder part, you can spend money on pictures, that's sweet, and classes, but the question is, you're sharpening crayons. When do you actually put them to paper? And I knew with you, I was like, man, this guy, like, and I don't want to say that like you were through the ringer, but you never stopped trying. And as much as your heart got broken, you believed in yourself enough to say, I'm going to give this one more time. And I'm glad you didn't join us like that very first call. And that you made us, I don't want to say sweat it out, but I wanted to show anybody who has ever been on our calls, like, am I blunt? Yeah. But I also, nothing drives me crazier than someone who gives advice that has never been in this industry. And the worst thing is when you take advice from the naysayers, from the, it's all about the money. Well, name one thing that's not about money. You want to do anything in life, you're going to spend money.
Yeah.
And, I thought about it today. I'm like, I would really love to offer like free coaching, right? Like once a week. And I'm like, well, they can join our boot camps, our open calls and things like that. And I thought, whenever I offer anything for free, nobody shows up. It's like, oh, family emergency. And I thought, as a business owner, if I'm going to introduce you to a top LA agent, I need to make sure that you're going to show up. Agents are not there to train you. So like you had to put in some elbow grease before you went to LA. You needed to learn how, because 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, this business, you had to live in LA. You had to live in New York. You had to have headshots and physically go into the offices. Now that everything is done on Zoom, yay, that's so great. You can live anywhere. But at the same time, it's, oh crap. Now that I don't have to live in New York or LA, my competition is the entire freaking world.
Yes.
Things have gotten real. So like, this is why people fall through the cracks, because they're so worried about marketing materials, but no one in the business cares because we don't even know you exist. So for you, I knew you had what it took, which is why I was a little bit hard on you, and I'm hard on everybody. But I feel as though it's kind of like a ship in the night. If I can help you just 1 degree to get to that, I have to sometimes. It's not meant like, even though we're friends, at the same time, I run a business, and in order for you to be successful, if I were friendly, then it's easier for you to like be laid back and, oh, it's okay. And I want to instill fear because I want you to know that like I'm your number one coach. Think about like Patrick Mahomes. You think he just shows up to the Super Bowl, or do you think he has somebody like literally micromanaging everything he does? Tiger Woods. I mean, in order to be great, Tom Brady has a physical therapist just for his elbow. You know what I mean? Like when he goes to throw the ball. So like, if you want to be great, you're going to need somebody who's an expert to say, hey, Carl, you're great, but like your headshots need some work, your cell tapes, your slates. Not to mention, I'm going to put you face to face with everybody that you need to meet. And now that you have an agent, like think about like before VIP, could you have done this on your own? Like, had you tried
absolutely not. I mean, I could have attempted to do it on my own, but I wouldn't
have
have
gone to
been
Hollywood and knocked on doors, but nobody's at the office anymore.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been. Yeah, that's absolutely
just
true.
Just check for speed. I
they
need
have
to be
offices,
in front of the right people.
nobody's there.
Yeah,
yeah, but no, it is, and it's funny because in just the 5 years that I've been acting, I've seen the industry change. Because I joined in just pre-COVID,
right before COVID,
right before COVID, and then COVID hit, and it changed a lot of things. And I gone to some of like the cold read auditions for stuff, and it's in a way, it's nice sometimes, but it's also nice to be, when you get an audition, you can self-tape from home. You can make yourself more comfortable. Like you go to a location. You're going to get a little nervous. You see all these other people. It's mental too. You see, oh yeah, this guy's going to get the role. He looks it, where, he could be
mindset training. I'm going to book it. I'm going to book it. Yeah.
Well, and see, and that's, I wanted, when you were talking about like, you give things up for free, nobody shows up. It's just, yes, we have to buy in, we have to pay, to become part of a program, and you have levels and stuff, but I still say what you're asking us to pay is still way under what probably could get, because just like the vault, you have a vault of tapes of of mentors and coaches throughout the entire entertainment industry that I can at any time get on my computer, log into the website, say, let's
self-tapes.
What like Happy Will Sewell, just watch one of her things, and it's 45 minutes
Broadway
long.
star, Fiddler in the Roof. Yeah.
Yep. And that's the other nice thing is just like, I gotta go to the bathroom, pause, run to the bathroom, come back and keep going, or go back and watch it again because something might have resonated, and then you have to go back and watch it again. And so I have that opportunity, and I have sat, and spent hours a day, but and watch these videos, but it's like, and people are like, oh, it's a waste of time. Well, did you go to college? Did you like sit into a classroom three days a week for 45 to 50 minutes and then, and then do homework and study and stuff? It's the same thing, and you're right. And you got to do the work. Even
like Yale is 65 grand a year. When you go through a 4-year degree, even a 2-year degree, you're spending over $100,000. No one is spoon feeding you. Hey, here's the head of Warner Brothers casting. Like no one is doing that. And like for you, like on your resume, you're working with actors. Like in the vault, we have cast members from The Walking Dead, Monique Coleman from High School Musical. One of your coaches is one of the stars of The Sopranos. Like, and having access, this is the naysayers. These are real people that are in the industry. And not only that, but they know what it takes to book work. And that is so important for you to find your tribe.
And another thing with VIP and Ignite, excuse me, I'm mumbling here, that you do is you vet your mentors. You vet the coaches, that the people that you bring into the company on the other side of us.
Yeah.
And that is amazing, because there's been a couple of live sessions with some of these people that I've attended, and they're like, hey, if you need some help, you want to share something, or you want me to, critique you on something, here's my personal email. Please don't give it out.
Yeah.
Or and send me the link to the thing, and I'll look at it, and and it's just like, what? You're an Oscar nominee, and you're going to
Yeah.
look at mine and tell me if it was good or not? I was like,
So you're part of the
wow.
family, Carl.
Yeah. But
You're
that's
an
what I'm saying is,
extension of us, and they love what we do, because at the end of the day, people always go, how do you get these people? I'm like, I remind them where they came from. And I also reminded them that there was no roadmap, that they had to create their own wheel. And it's important to give back, because for you, anything, like, could you imagine, like, if you didn't have VIP Ignite? And I'm not saying you couldn't do this on your own, but it would certainly cost you a lot of money, time. And if you were taking taking advantage of, again, you could have just been like, that's it, I'm done. Like, third time's the charm, like, peace, I'm out of here,
I probably, to be honest, was close to that. It's just like, yeah, I was at the point where it's just like, now, granted, I know that sometimes some people are in this business and they get their break 20 years after they started.
Overnight success. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, but that was with the old methods and stuff like that, and so, if I have to wait 20 years, I'll be playing corpses and coffins, and
That's cool. I could do that in my sleep.
yeah. But no, it's it's just the amount of work that you and your team have done there's no way we can quantify it. And like I said, you're underselling, and I'm not saying raise your prices, but you're underselling.
We're tripling our fees. Like,
yeah.
But I want to be cost effective, because it's not like, we work on Broadway and we do all this other cool stuff. And I want people to understand, like, every single connection that you're meeting, I've invested, like with Mark Schoenfeld, I've invested almost $1 million to even be able to work with him, because I had to invest in Broadway for him to even take me seriously. So like, when you meet him, it's like, oh, wow, did you see what I had to go through to get to, so you got signed to a huge LA agent.
Mm-hmm.
How much has your life changed? Are you like excited? Are you doing self-tapes? What's happening?
I can't put into words how excited I am, because of the opportunities that I know. I got signed like right before Christmas.
Yeah.
So it was going in kind of a slow time, but the level of professionalism was like so much higher than I've been exposed to. And I'm not saying like other
and she don't play. So like, I feel like for me, I'm like a dress rehearsal, because when you meet them, it's like, oh
yeah, she was like, okay, here's a list. Everything has to be checked off before I even put you on my website. And if you don't get these things done in a certain time, then I know you're not serious.
Bye. Yeah.
And it was like, wow. And the other thing that amazed me is like, I met her, Allie, at the LA seminar stuff. But the next time that we spoke, she remembered me. She called me by name, and then it was like later I did something on the website, that was, and she was like, God, it feels like I've known you forever already, because we have a communication. She's the owner of a major Los Angeles
representing like A-listers. And here you are, huge Hollywood agent.
Yes. And and I am with the pilot season coming up, and with all the other, things starting to ramp back up again. I'm so excited, and I'm so ready. I'm got my go bag set and ready to go wherever I need to go.
That's how you do it. And I thank you for tagging us in everything that you're working on, because sometimes you and I just spoke about somebody who met one of our agents in Atlanta, and now he's walking Fashion Week, and I just had to send him a private message like, hey, that's really great and all that you're walking Fashion Week. Can you tell me a little bit about the person that you met through me and why you didn't tag me in this post? The fact that I have to do that, and it's not about like, oh, I want credit, but I want people like you that have been burned in the past to say, hey, they're different. Look, because if I don't have success stories, I have nothing. And for us, like, my job isn't to book you work. My job is to find great talent, to vet them, because I know what my agents need. And I'm only going to bring the best to go forth in front of them because you can look like an idiot, but not if I'm introducing you. So I have to make sure you're on the calls, you're doing your work. Because if you got signed to a top LA agent, the clock is ticking, my friend. Like, you better get everything done. And if you're brand new or you're entitled or, oh, I have no money, I'm expecting somebody to do all this for me, get the hell out of this.
Yeah. No,
this is
and
not the business for you. You're going to invest time and money to do this, but it's worth it. Now, you've booked work. You've been on TV shows, right? You've been in movies. What's it like actually being in this industry? For anybody watching that's brand new, is it everything you thought and more, or what's it
yes
like being on
and
set?
no. It's one of those things where you've got something in your mind's eye of like how it's going to be, and some of the stuff is and some of it isn't. One of the things, like when my very first project I ever did, it was like be there at 7:30 p.m. It was a night shoot, and we weren't called to the set until like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh dear.
So but having been prior military, I'm used to that. It's what we call hurry up and wait.
Yep.
And so you just, you got a phone, bring a book or something like that. And then you get called to set. And then it was like, oh no, the sun's starting to come up. We got to hurry up and get this done, and things moved at such a fast pace. It was controlled chaos, because like the hardest thing that they had to do then was like getting the lighting right and do. So we would sometimes have to sit in position as they moved lights around to make sure the shot was good. And then it was just, and I have, it was a wonderful experience. And that's like I said, when after that one, I was like, yep, this is what I want to do. I found my passion in life, and this is and that started it. And, then you hear horror stories. I've never had a horror story set yet. I've had some bad sets from indie stuff, but it was, it was lack of experience from
Low budget
the
indie
production
films.
side, yeah. But I mean, nothing, I've never felt threatened, or I never felt unsafe. It's incredible. I did a Hallmark movie, and it was, the people, everybody was so nice. I mean, even there was
It's Hallmark. I want to hear that. Yeah.
there's a PA on set that I did this years ago. We still on Facebook, we keep in touch, just because we just kind of hit it off. And it's and then, and the only thing that I wasn't really waiting for, or I didn't expect, is how openly friendly some actors can be and how closed some actors can be. And it's not like, oh, he's a jerk. Just like when any walks of life, you get introverts, you get extroverts, you get people that, think like they're right-minded. Some people are left-minded, and you can't, just assume all actors are the same, and because they're not,
but sometimes they're in character, or like they're trying to like focus on their lines or whatever it is. So like if you walk up and you're like, and you start a conversation, like, you've been with me, like I'm friendly, but when it's time for work, it's like,
oh no, yeah,
no, you know what I mean? Like I have to turn it on and off. But when you're in that zone and now it's business, like I don't want to hear the chatter. I'm focused, like a football player. I know my goal and I'm going to hit it. Don't disrupt. But I think that's interesting, because again, we get a lot of talent that don't understand, like when you go on set, there's no like, hey, Will Smith, can I get a selfie with you?
Oh.
And let me share with my fans on TikTok what's happening on the scene. And it's like,
So
and this is why we have to vet, because you're working on this type of level, which is why all these other companies want your money, and they're going to throw you up on the websites, because they don't care if you ever book work, because they're never going to get work on this type of level.
Absolutely. And I got to share one quick story about that. And then we'll go back to more of your question, but it was just, I was on a set with Orlando Bloom.
Oh,
and, when we got on set, it was, he was obviously the star, and I was just supporting. But like, there was like, don't talk to the main cast, you just don't, because like Orlando's I didn't realize, but he's a method actor. And apparently somebody early on in the thing, like right before takes, so try to engage him in conversations, and it just it was not good. And so we got on, and I'm doing everything. Like he is as close to me, he's like 20 feet away from me, kind of thing. And it's like, it's Orlando Bloom. I mean, I'm professional, I'm not going to, but I'm studying him because I'm trying to glean what I can. And then he turns around and makes eye contact, he starts talking to me, and it's like, do I respond? Do I not respond? But I mean, I don't want to get yelled at.
Don't look at his eyes.
but he was phenomenal human being. He was an amazing guy,
I
and
love to
was
hear
it was
that.
amazing watching him work. And I learned a lot from the couple days that I was there. But yeah, so the only to finally answer the question, yeah, there is being on set, actually working. There are times where it's like, oh, I figured it was going to be like this, but there's a lot of times you're just like, wow, it's like, this is cool, this is polite, this is nice, this is safe. People have their jobs, they do their jobs, and you do your job, and everything will run smoothly. I mean, it's life. Things happen sometimes, like, camera might get broken, or a light might go out, or
Yeah.
the battery might go dead, and the boom thing, or that stuff happens all the time in life. So, but
Right.
yeah, it was I just say, yeah, and the more up you go in the quality of the production, and it's not like, you go from 1 to 2, it's like you go 1, 2, 4, 8, 6, it just, and when you're in that,
Give
like,
me some name drop a little bit. Tell me some of the people that you've worked with. Okay, so Orlando Bloom, I love that.
John Voight, an
That's a great one.
amazing human being.
Okay,
Bo Derek,
great.
James Conn, the late James Conn.
Yep.
Let's see. I don't know if there's an actress named Ella Jordan. She was a sweetheart.
Okay.
And then I know I'm forgetting people.
I'll just go through
Oh,
your Facebook and Insta because but I love seeing you in costume, and I love hearing these stories about, what it's like to be on set. And, like our saying here at VIP Ignite, if you build it, they will come. And I want to help people like you that really want to do this. And, I just want to kind of help you get to that, because you had it within you the whole time. It's just you needed to not be alone. And that's really the premise of our company, building a loving community of people that really want to work with you and kind of get you ready. But then when you're face to face, it's all you, my friend. Like I can't force them to sign. There is no guarantee that they're going to sign you, but I put you face to face with people that, like, most people would never get a chance to meet.
well,
And you did it. You got
yes,
signed to a
I got
huge
signed.
agent. You got signed.
Yeah, and
Came to LA and you conquered it. Like, think about how many people moved to LA with a dream. VIP Ignite goes to LA with a plan, a
with a plan.
well-executed plan with training, and there is no luck. You know what I mean? This is hard work and preparation.
No,
So
and that's the other thing. Like, and I guess now, as we're talking, one of the
yeah,
first questions, why I pulled the trigger with you guys, and I've said this since the beginning. I'm not acting. I'm not in this industry to be rich and famous. I am truly not. It's just I found my passion, and for me to be a successful actor, I want to be able to pay my current level of debt simply by acting. I don't have to have 7 houses and 28 cars, and be invited to places just because, oh, it's him. And I'm not saying that wouldn't be fun and nice,
yeah.
but it's not at all why I'm doing it. This is my passion, and if I can pay my daily bills simply by acting, I will consider myself successful. And I know being part of VIP Ignite is going to make that happen, and getting signed to the firm LA out in
It's the
Hollywood
beginning.
is yeah. And it's just bright. And it's like, oh, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Who
It's
are you right now? I'm loving this. And you've also been mentoring some of our talent that are coming in. You're like, hey, everybody, everything's going to be fine. Like, it's like a flight attendant during turbulence, and here's Carl, he's
right.
super happy now. But I love that, because, like, sometimes it's just that light that goes off. It's like, oh, wow, it wasn't me, and I think that's like one of the hardest things that people, it's not that you can't get opportunities. It's just, you're not getting in front of the right people. And I'm proud of you, Carl. You're doing
Thank
it.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
But we've got some really exciting things happening this year, 2023. Carl, I love you. I cannot wait to see. When am I going to see you next? Orlando, New York,
One of the
Miami?
two. I would like to get down to I would like to do the Miami one. But I just got to check schedules. New York would be fun, but my first choice is Miami, and then if not Miami, Orlando, then New York. But
Yeah.
yeah, definitely
And
going to
there's
be able to.
opportunities everywhere. So don't think if you don't come to New York, Miami. I think when the business really changed because of the C word, this whole entire business left New York and LA. They had to find greener pastures, like show business. We're recession proof. I mean, like, it was nonstop. Even in a global pandemic, Hollywood did not slow down. And they found alternate, they pivoted, they adapted, they evolved. And now the best part is you can live anywhere and be able to self-tape. So, hey, let's meet some people in Miami. Let's meet some people in Orlando. You're part of our inner circle. So I'm so excited that you not just jumped, but you jumped really high. Again, you reap what you sow. And I'm so excited that I didn't scare you to the point where you're like, that's it, I'm done. She broke me. But I think you kind of liked it because you're like, man, I need somebody to, really fight. And I fight for everybody as long as they're worthy of it. I'm number one cheerleader.
And I know that I'm a person that needs to get my butt kicked every now and then too. So
I'll do it. Just call me anytime. Yeah. But I love you, Carl. And so just keep posting and keep tagging us. And I say that with a happy face because, VIP Ignite, come to the events, meet as many people as you want. But if you get signed to a top LA agent, I better be the first one to hear about it.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Yeah, I probably should have been a drill sergeant, maybe in a past life or something. But Carl, thank you so much. I cannot wait to see you somewhere. I don't know where, but I'll see you, and I'll also see you on Zoom. And I'm so proud of you. So
thank you so very much. Again, I'm honored to be part of this company. And,
thank you so much.
It's nice to feel a home and with other like-minded people that are part of this group. So yes, thank you.
And that's why we do auditions. That's why not everybody gets in, because we need to protect this kingdom, and I think that's so important for anybody watching this, that this business, in order to have tremendous success and in order for these top people to want to work with VIP Ignite, we got to make sure you're worthy of those introductions. So, hey, it's not me, it's you if you don't get picked. So, we got, nobody wants to be with a company that's super easy to get in. It's not coveted. So we're going to make you fight for it. So regardless of what you think you could do, the question is, do you have what it takes? And Carl, you do. You're in.
Awesome.
So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I will see you soon. Love you.
Yes, ma'am.